T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. That's what I wanna do. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on,
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.
Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. It's your favorite fellas on their worst behavior tonight, ladies and gentlemen. This is Maybe
Lord.
This Will Help podcast, season 6, episode 22. Worst behavior, because we got some special guests coming on tonight. Now, we don't usually do this, but
Doom, 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 doom.
tonight we got a little something special for y'all. Why do you always start, bro? We had a vibe going.
I thought that was the R. Kelly. I'm just trying to be.
Yeah,
you.
bro. I was about to do the ad lib.
Man, come on, man.
Raggedy niggas. Listen, this is not even per y'all request, but these conversations
not.
have been so rich these past few months, and we've been trying to bring guests on once a month, and we've been failing. But this month we did not fail. We are bringing on the female voice tonight. So I want you to get your expectations ready, because whatever they are, they're probably going to be wrong. We handpicked these people purposely. They've been plants in the female movement for years.
We already getting ourselves in trouble. About to be exposed.
Oh man. Well, Ray, what's popping, man? Good to see you. Magellan, what's going on? So you know what? I was gonna go through our normal, but you want to do it with them?
Yeah. Why don't we?
So you guys know, usually at the beginning of the show, we just say, what was your favorite part of the week? Just a quick little check-in, just before we get the show started, just to warm us up. We're going to do that with our special guest tonight, and they didn't know that, so I hope that they are ready. So in the countdown, I want you guys to clap it up wherever you are, cheer them on, and as usual, grab your favorite drink, tag your favorite friend, tag your favorite enemy, tell them to tune in, because tonight's going to be good. Coming to the stage, we have the one. I'm gonna do mine first.
Yep.
With the one and the only mother of Donovan D. Donnell, Miss Yolandra McClinton, honey herself.
Hey.
She's back, y'all.
Hello, my honeybees. Hello, my honeybees.
When did that happen? When?
She has a whole fan club for Maybe This Will Help.
My honeybees, golly, my only children. And I know you guys wanted Mom back on the show. She's here with her insight. She is not going to be talking about every woman needs an old man experience this week.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
Okay. You said that last time you were on the show.
Over with the old men.
See? It's a new day.
Let's get started.
Guy, everybody needs a young man experience. Rashonda said, "Hey, Mama Honey." Amber said,
Hi,
"Hi."
babies. Hi.
Oh,
Look at all my
God.
honeybees.
Oh,
And
that is
and
hilarious.
coming up next, I'm not gonna be the only one embarrassed tonight. Coming up next, you guys know her from being in the background often,
Come on, my girl.
asking for her insight because Mike be on here wilding out, and I'm the sane one. But welcome to the
Wow.
stage, Mike's better half, the one and only
Yes.
For
Mrs.
sure.
Daniel.
For sure. Hey, there she is.
Hey guys, I don't have any honeybees, but hi.
You are a honeybee.
Listen,
Oh God, she's a honeybee. Is she? That's one of your babies.
I love that. I love that honeybee. That's great. That's like the beehive.
Hi, but better. But
Well,
better.
better.
But
Absolutely.
better. The B stands for better. The better hive.
Hello.
There we go.
There we
All right.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into this show tonight. Our guests are with us for only an hour. At least we think. So we'll see how this goes tonight. But we'll let you guys
Listen,
start it.
Janae and I might just take over. So let's see what the audience is.
We may only be here for an hour.
Uh-oh.
There you go. This looks
Listen.
better anyway.
I like it like this.
Me too.
How was your week?
Too soon. Too soon.
Janae, let's do a check-in.
Too soon.
Golly. Mom was about to do the check-in.
Because I want you guys to know they watch the show faithfully.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, for
For
Yeah, they
sure. So why don't y'all go ahead, man? Best part of the week. Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Best part of my week was we had Bible study today at the house. My wonderful husband hosted Bible study for us here this morning, and it was so rich. It was so nice, and
it was.
I didn't really want it to end, and I don't know how many people ever want. Many people want church to end or Bible study to end, but I didn't. I thought it was really good, so that's highlighted my week.
Yeah, it was really good. Mike's definitely Baptist. He had like 3 closings.
I did.
He did well though. Mother Dearest, highlight of your week.
The highlight of my week. So I had a wonderful opportunity to witness. I'm going to say it wasn't actually a play. It was more like a monologue in our community in Leimert Park at the Barbara Morrison Theater. This is my second time going. So the title was 7, A Seat at the Table. And because this has been Mental Health Month, it was a wonderful way to close it out. And the monologue was all about 7 different personalities and the traumas they had experienced through childhood that then molded and made them into the adults that they are now.
Wow.
And how it affected their ability to love or to be in relationships or how they react. And so it was powerful because when I think about you guys doing this show and I hear the responses from so many about relationships and what you're willing to accept and what you're not, all of it's a reaction to something else that we've experienced in life that's made us who we are now. When I tell you it was powerful, and so I was fortunate enough to have 17 guests, but wait for it. The reason why I know about this, I am so fortunate and not trying to be biased at all, but this young man right here, Donovan D. Donnell, who happens to be my son, exposes me to so many different types of groups and opportunities and plays and things. And I told him, I said, I'm just preparing for the red carpet now. Like, hi, Donovan's mom. How are you?
How are you? That's good.
But
That's
on the
good.
real side, the highlight of my week was actually being able to sit in the moment and think about why we do what we do and how we react. So that'll be some of my comments even tonight with the things you guys talk about.
That's good. That's
All right.
solid. So, Mom, is that an every week thing, or is it over?
It's over. It was
Okay.
significant. When she said 7, she had 7 characters. They did 7 performances. Everything revolved around that number. But last night was the final night. And so people were asking for it to come back, or is she going to take it on the road? Just a shout out to her. She is the operational manager for Napoli's Health
Napoli
and
Naturals.
Wellness. What's it called, Donovan? Napoli Naturals. What is
Napoli
it called?
Naturals. Yeah.
Yes, in Leimert Park. It was all about, and so the bottom line was about healing. How do we heal from it? They didn't just throw you out there and show you the trauma. They brought it back and talked about the healing nature
That's
of it.
solid. That is solid.
Yeah, it is. Ray asked where he said he wished he could have saw it. So in the link in the chat, I put the link. They had it live on YouTube this last show. So I put the link in there. So anybody wants to go watch it, you can go watch it. Just click
Powerful.
the power and copy. Paste. Copy and paste. Listen, let me finish drinking my drink. Mike, what was the highlight of your week, man?
Highlight of my week. I was gonna say it was Bible study, but my wife took that one. So Friday, Thursday was my son's 15th birthday. So we celebrated that with him. So big shout out to him turning the big 1-5. And then on Friday, my wife and I took him, his best friend Tyler, and Denham's girlfriend and Tyler's girlfriend to the fair, LA County Fair. And it was so many moments during that time where everybody that's been watching the show knows I get emotional over everything as it pertains to my family. But just watching him, hold his girlfriend's hand and hug her and just see, him really growing up and stepping into his own, and not just that, doing it in front of me, you know what I mean? Like being comfortable enough with me to hold his girlfriend's hands and not feel weirded out, or us being at the fair together and not being weirded out. It's just, it makes me proud to have the type of bond and relationship that I have with my son. And like I said, just seeing him growing up and carving out his own path, and it's dope, man. It's dope. So I think that was the highlight, just being able to watch him do, like, just be him and in his element, like unfiltered Denham, So yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. Well, congratulations, Dad, Uncle, Mom,
yes.
Grandma.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Highlight of my week was this nap I took, bro. Y'all know I've been doing a lot, and I haven't been overwhelmed. But God, it was a nap. I had a really good nap today. I've been needing it all week. I think that for me, just a conglomerate of this week. I had a lot of interviews to do because I have a book coming out, and they have been going so exceptionally well. The highlight was just me recognizing the deeper I get into this entrepreneurial season that I'm in, the more I recognize God is with me and his power is on me. And so that awareness brings about a different kind of confidence and ease, no matter how booked my schedule gets. And so that was the highlight of my week. I really feel his hand with me. And yeah, I mean, if I got that,
Yeah.
how can I lose, my guy?
How can he lose? That's solid.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you all have been waiting for, we're about to get into the show. If you guys are not following us on Instagram, follow Maybe This Was the Podcast on Instagram. If you're following me, you already know what's going on. I've been posting things in my stories. People have been commenting. And so because we have Janae and Honey on the show tonight, we want to give them a chance to comment on a few of the things I've been putting in my story. We're going to start light, then we're going to throw some hard balls at them. And so let's start with reading is the most attractive male hobby to women, according to study. The question I posted this week was, what is the most attractive male hobby?
I'm not answering.
Or are we waiting?
Yeah, like I did respond, but reading is sexy. It really is.
Is it?
Awesome.
It's
Let's stick
sexy.
with that because
Like-
so many
like-
women put
Because
reading.
let me tell you something.
Reading.
There's
Hold
something
on.
about-
Reading to you, or just knowing how to read was the question.
Oh,
to me.
God.
Oh my
God.
goodness. Go dog go.
Golly, that's a low bar.
That's not what we're talking about.
What are we talking about here?
Okay, so I guess I interpreted it a different way. I looked at it reading as intelligence, right?
Mhm.
And so an intelligent man that with a newspaper, so I'm gonna date myself because now you're online, but I have found something just so attractive about that. Or even when I was in school for this last degree, and then my study partners, but the guys, like their reading and their comprehension, and then exchanging words. Donovan, I think it's attractive when I listen to you read.
Yeah.
It is, but that wasn't my number one hobby. But I just want to say that was attractive.
Okay, reading is it does, hold on, before, does that make you feel some type of way about, we always talk about women feeling safe, we feel like a man can provide, like, does that make either of you feel some type of safety, some type of confidence in your man if he knows how to read or he reads well?
So for me, I think if you read in general, I think that's great, because there's not many people that I know that read books constantly and continuously. And they say especially for black people, they hide stuff in books. So if you know that, and as a man, you're reading. For me, I want to be a reader. I wish I was a reader. I'm not, because every time I read a book, I get sleepy. I always go to sleep. I don't know why, but I wish I was a reader. But is it attractive? I think it's an attractive quality. I don't think it's something that I'm like looking for. Like, you must be a reader, So,
What's your hobby then?
So first thing that came to my mind was a man that's in therapy. I don't know if that's considered a hobby.
Not a man, just me. Continue.
Well, you're correct. That's correct. but if I was in the dating pool, and I'm happy that I'm not, a man that would be in therapy, and someone who actually takes his mental health seriously and knows that I don't have it all figured out.
Therapy is a hobby, is wild work.
I feel like it's a hobby for me at this point. Sheesh.
I am not mad at it. Okay, Mom, you said reading wasn't your first one. What was your first one?
Can you read the question again?
Yes, man. She done went on a whole different spree inside. Reading is the most attractive male hobby to women according to study. What would you say is the most attractive male hobby?
Can I put the two together? Cooking and cleaning.
Oh, that was going to be my next one. That's my next one.
Ooh. You walk in, that house smells good, and he can cook. Oh, yes.
Why?
You got points. It tells me a lot about who you are.
What does it say?
So with the cooking, you're conscious. Well, okay, so that could go two ways. But in my experience, right, you're conscious about your health or what you put into your body. You got skills. It's something about if you know how to season. You're a chemist. I don't know. We just take it to a whole nother. You can
Mike,
make
Mike, the reason I'm asking these questions is because oftentimes when women and men are having conversations, there's misinterpretation. Same words, misinterpretation. That's how we end up having these little disagreements we got to recover from. So I'm asking them to interpret what are they seeing when they see a man read, when they see him cooking, when they see him cleaning, because I promise you, we're not seeing the same things.
I have a question when it comes to the cooking and cleaning. Is it attractive because that's something that society has said only women do? And so now you're seeing this masculine man take on that responsibility and do it well.
Interesting.
No?
So for me, it's opposite. I think yes for me, only because if I'm looking at you cooking and cleaning, it's one of the things you do to help lighten my load.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I would see it. And maybe that's because typically I'm the one who cooks in our household. Mm-hmm. And so if I come home and dinner is cooked, I know Mike probably did that to lighten my load. I had a long day or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking for a partner.
Yeah.
Right. And so if we can share in this partnership, I can cook, you can cook, we can both clean. And it's our environment that we're creating. Right. And to Janae's point, does it lighten the load for either one of us? So I think it's very attractive. I love it.
Okay, so let's do this because I asked the women to comment on my story, but I did not ask the men to keep their comments to themselves, kind of letting women, shine for a moment. But I did hear from one man. He said it's interesting if you would have asked what is the most attractive hobby for a woman to have. A man said he said that they would probably name a hobby that they can do with their woman. He said women
Mm.
often name hobbies that they want done that they don't want to do.
And that's so crazy because that's why I asked what I asked. That's interesting.
It is. So you said so they said that mom said I'll cook with him, clean with him. Then when I see stuff like built stuff, the built stuff came up a lot. Do most women want to build with him or they want to see him build it? When I saw work on the car, change the brakes, change the oil. And so we kind of had this comical conversation behind the scenes about the honey-do list. Me and my mom talk about this often. My mom's been preparing me for marriage since I was like 8 years old. And so the never-ending honey-do list. And we came to that conclusion, I think I put on my story, that women just like to see men working, like to see men active, like to see men doing things. Would you guys like to comment on that, confirm it or refute it, that women just like to see men actively doing something, and when they're laying down doing nothing, it kind of gets under their skin?
I'll
Damn.
let Janae answer that first.
So I don't think it gets under my skin at all to see Mike sit down and relax because my husband already does a lot. So I don't need to see him do more, but for sake of the question, that's why I answered the way I answered. But I don't think for me to turn on to see a man just doing something, I don't think it's that at all for me.
Would it be a turn on to see a man laying down, just enjoying a good movie in a blanket?
Yeah, as long as I'm right there with him.
Ma?
So it's fine to sit down and relax. I know that there's always something to do. For me, I just figure at the house there's always something to do, right? However,
You're not lying, y'all. I grew up in this woman's house. She ain't lying.
there's always something that can be done.
Yeah.
But I've been fortunate enough in relationships and in marriage that I've always, I just don't have the negative side. I've always had the positive side that I think I have OCD. I've been told I do, right? But I attract people that are like me. And so usually everything is done, it's in place. Yeah, sit down, relax. It wouldn't bother me at all. But if the house is a mess and things need to be done and you're just kicking it and I'm up working and you're watching me, that's a problem.
So let's talk about that for a second, because if his plan is to do it, but just not do it now, is that still an issue? Does he need to communicate that to you? Or is it like, hey, if I'm up cleaning, you're up cleaning?
That was so loud. That was so loud.
Okay.
Not taking off the glasses. Golly, Ma.
Here's the challenge. Here's the challenge. Because I'm going to just look at it and you're like, okay, I'm going to get to it. When? Oh, when the game is over. But you not doing that then prevents me from getting something else done. Wow. In my mind.
Wow, that's deep. That's deep. I think it goes back to what Mike said. Like, communication is important because if somebody's already exhausted, he can be like, well, does it have to be done now? And you're like, it's preventing me from doing what I want to do. And so does this point of contention often grow into something bigger and cause divorce? Because we talk a lot about divorce in this generation, and the understanding I have is that it starts with something small that either wasn't communicated well or there was a small mismatch that grew into something bigger later.
So Donovan, you and I have had these conversations, and I think what happens, and guys, please jump in and in the chat. If it's the person and we want it done now and we can't get it done now, and let's say it doesn't create a problem, but I'm just going to go in and get it done and I'll just do it, right? And that continues to happen. This is where we start to be, and we could be guilty, like extremely independent. Well, that's okay because I've already done it. Don't worry about it. I got it. And that's the challenge and the problem that just grows and grows in relationships. And then that's when it grows into something else.
So you're saying that some of these women out here who are hyper independent are not because they have lazy men, just because or it's not because they had lazy men. It might be because they had men who didn't want to do stuff on their timeline.
And they didn't have patience.
Janae, you got anything to add to that? Because Lord.
I mean, I would agree. And I think I'm fortunate enough in my marriage where if I get up to clean something up, we know we have people coming over, you know, Mike does the same thing, or he gets up to, you know, pick up, we just kind of follow each other, you know, in that way. But I will say, 'cause in a past relationship, it wasn't that way. It was always me who was the one that had to clean, and it was it's like pulling teeth to get him to get up and do anything else. You know,
is that because you guys wore the same size hoodie? Is that when you shouldn't date a man who wear the same size clothes as you? I'm just wondering if that's the same dude.
It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It might. It might.
We're just gonna clear this up. We're gonna clear this up.
Clear it up, Janae. They be wanting you to clear it up. You be trying to clear it up in the chat.
That's the other person I'm talking about. 1, 2. That hoodie was my hoodie, but it was his brand. It was not his hoodie. It was mine.
It just happened to be a size for a man. Donovan, we know the truth, brother.
Okay,
hold on. Because
come on, Janae.
What size was I 2 years ago?
Did Donovan leave me?
He
wow. He stirred the pot and then left.
Listen.
Nah.
This is good though, and I appreciate this because these are some of the conversation. I am not being messy. I just had a question. Honestly though, I love that. I love this conversation for this podcast because sometimes it's something that small.
It is
that someone doesn't know how to communicate that causes so much division and space between two people that really love each other. And it's like, I just need it done on my timeline. And he's like, well, I just need you to care more about my energy levels, right? So I was talking to one of my mentors a while ago, and he said, you want to find a woman that cares about these 3 things. He said, your peace. He said, your peace, your money, and your energy. He said, because finding one of them is fine. Like a woman that doesn't want you to spend all your money, that wants you to be money conscious. He said, that's a good thing. But he said, well, we have to understand that for men, usually our peace, our money, and our effort, our energy are all tied in together. That's like our biggest banks that we are trying to manage so that we can properly take care of our woman. Our peace helps us to make better decisions in the right frame of mind. Our money, of course, is how we provide most things. And then our effort or our energy, that's come back to that honeydew list, the things she wants us to do outside of the protection and the provision part of it. And he said, when a woman can see you wanting to spend money on her for something, like, no, babe, that's not a big deal right now. We can do that later. Or I don't need something that expensive. Or no, let's go home and cook instead. He said, pay attention to that. He said, when you come home tired and she has a list of things she wants you to do, she's like, babe, here's the list, but get some rest first. Get some rest first, and then let me know if can you do this a little bit later on. Can you do it this weekend? What was that one? That was the energy. That was the money, and then the peace. The peace, when he said, is so important because he said when a woman recognizes that you're trying to keep her safe, but she's addicted to reckless behavior, said that is a direct reflection of how she feels about your peace. If you value peace and your best decisions as far as being the man in her life comes from a place of peace, then she's going to not put herself in certain situations that would disturb her peace, because her disturbing your peace disturbs how well you can take care of her. That was his insight towards me. What do you guys think?
I actually really like that. And I think I would agree with all of them.
Ma or Mike?
Communication is key. So I think in relationships, there needs to be a whole conversation. If there is a to-do list, then it's like with everything else that I teach. It's like, what's the time frame? So then it's realistic. Can it be done by this time? Right? Because then you have to take into consideration, maybe that other person has their own to-do list and some other things that need to be accomplished. So when it says like be equally yoked, I'm listening to Janae talk about how they'll follow each other's leads, right? That's a partnership. That's even unspoken communication. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, we're going to get this done. Okay, well, we've got this coming up. So, okay. Yeah. And if he sees her, up trying to move the refrigerator, he's like, babe, wait, hold, I got it, right? Just go
Wait
into
a
something else.
minute.
It's true.
Why is she trying to move a refrigerator when he's on the couch?
She was trying to
know
clean
her
the
sister.
kitchen, and she was
You know
doing
your
the
sister.
floor, and she just wanted it moved.
But she gonna hurt herself trying to move that fridge.
In the moment, cleaning. Listen, my girl goes to the gym. I understand. I move the refrigerator.
Wow. All right. I'm not married. I don't understand these things. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I have a question for you gentlemen. So with someone coming in, a girlfriend, your wife, whatever, with a honey-do
We don't
list.
believe in girlfriends. What'd you say? Go ahead.
Okay, Donnie. Your wife coming in with her honey-do list when you get home.
Okay.
It's typical that women have those for men.
Yes.
But do you guys ever make those for a woman? You guys feel a way that you guys don't give women the same thing?
Bro, Mike, do you want to go? Because
I can go. I absolutely do not. I don't. Well, and you know that I don't ever have a list of things I want or really ask you to do. I try to. Because I know you work, and I know you do a lot at the house, and I know you go into work, and then we have denim, and we have all of this shared responsibility. I purposely don't create more to put on your plate if I don't have to. And no, I don't feel slighted. I don't feel, oh, she asked me to do this and this and this. It to me, when your marriage is the way God intended it to be, doing things for your partner doesn't feel like chores. It feels like service. Mm-hmm. And me and Janae have always said, if I'm serving you 100%, you're serving me 100%, then nobody is lacking.
Correct.
All right, cool.
I agree with that.
Here we go. No, I love that answer, bro. I love that answer. I love that because I often glean off of the relationship you guys have and some of the things you do because I'm able to see how it works in real time. Yeah. Now, I'm going to lean into my life coaching hat from the men that I've coached that are married, that have girlfriends, that are dating women. What I come to understand through the men that I've coached and men's mental health is that they do have a list, but they've never been in a society that welcomes them to share that list because saying you need help is not manly. And so when I think about the men that I've coached and the things they said they wish their wife would do, and we say, well, why not ask them? No, I got it. The idea of society that they put on relationships and on marriage that is, unhealthy and toxic, that some men subscribe to is that you should be able to handle all your business and then most of hers. That's what it means to be a man. You should be able to handle all of your business and most of hers. And when we had that conversation, we were kind of doing some research I got you, Ma, that goes back into the stay-at-home wife, to where we talk about like you should be doing your stuff so well that all yours is handled and you can take something off her plate to allow her to be a stay-at-home wife who makes the house into a home. It should be your pleasure. And for most men, it is. Most married men, it is. The struggle is just that when they do have a need, they don't necessarily feel comfortable saying, hey, babe, I have a list of things I wish you could do for me. Go ahead, Ma.
Interesting.
So I like when Janae posed the question, and I think you went really deep with it.
Per usual. Yeah.
I'm thinking if we're having a list, it might be something as simple as, honey, can you feed the cats? And can you just, I didn't pull the trash cans in when I got home. So can you pull those in? Or, it's just like Mike said, it might be a chore, but it's an act of service. But if you walked in and you said, you said to your wife, honey, my schedule is really busy this week. And I know I usually meal prep myself, but could you meal prep for me? Or I've got a big meeting on Thursday. Could you drop my suit off at the cleaners? Or could you, it's things like that.
Okay. So let's reference an earlier conversation than the statement that you made. You said there's always something to do. And so if there's always something to do, when does he insert his need? If there's always something to do.
Meaning it's always something for him to do.
Yeah. If she said it's always something to
Yeah.
do around the house, and so the question is like,
something to do around the house.
huh?
But for both of us, there's always some kind of little project or something you can work on around the house.
Hold on.
So
Look,
you say
we can't enroll the man in that. Yeah, for both of us, it's always no. Historically speaking, statistically speaking, those projects are a woman walking around saying, "You know what would make this house a home?
If you build,
Shell, curtains. You know what? Curtains. You know, outside the neighbor has a new porch. Do you know how to build a porch?" So come on, let's be fair. Men are not coming home saying, "Oh man, you know what I'd like to do today?
That's funny.
Rest is what I like to do."
That's funny.
Hey, have you seen these Amazon things? I know you can make one, and you told me not to order from Amazon no more. What if we just went to Home Depot? Half the price. Doesn't that sound good?
That is funny. Damn.
That sounds funny.
No, it's
Mike, help me.
you're what you're
No,
what you're saying is right, but what I'm saying is, like, again, the only way I can explain it is when you're with the right person, all of that doesn't seem like work.
Do list.
I don't know.
No, it
don't seem like a list.
It's just a request, right?
Yeah.
Listen, sounds about right. It's a balance. I appreciate that. So even in the extremes, the extremeness of these conversations that I'm having with you, and even in my laughter, we can always fall back on if you're with the right person. Most people aren't, but they still trying to make it work. And this will help the podcast. So what kind of advice could we give people who didn't fall upon the favor of the Lord like you two did?
Yeah.
And they're in a different situation trying to make it work or figure it out.
Communicate.
That's it.
What does it sound like? Give us an example.
Means, like how Mike and I have our intimate time. I'm not saying everybody needs to have. And when I say intimate time, it doesn't just mean physical. It means really a lot. It's a lot of deep conversations, kind of like what you guys have on the podcast. And so I don't know if they need to schedule a time throughout the week and say, hey, this happened this week and this made me feel this way. Can we address this together so it doesn't happen again? Like, to me, that's a fair conversation to have. But then you don't get to react in the moment. And you schedule that time. So we know on Thursdays at 8:00, we're talking about A, B, C, and D.
We have these 4 people on this podcast who communicate well. They know how to use language to convey feelings in a way their partner or their friends can understand it. Now, here's the struggle. The struggle is that we can all identify some people and some relationships who can't seem to figure this part out as easy as it is communication.
Yeah.
And so what would we say, or what kind of advice do we give to those who are struggling to figure out this simple part of communicate with your partner?
You need to regulate your emotions. 1.
Say it again.
Regulate your emotions.
How?
I don't know. I can't tell you how to do that. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you how to do that.
Okay.
Regulate the emotions. How I regulate my emotions is God. If I start to, feel away, I pray. But that don't work for everybody. But I also understand things a lot different than other people.
I would say this, man, and like you just said, for people that don't know about communication, maybe people don't pray and all of these things. I would say take the word communicate out. Just talk like you would talk to your homeboy or your homegirl, and just talk.
Oh shoot. Okay.
Because you're saying they don't know how to communicate, so it's all bad anyway. If we got a person that, listen, how much worse can, like, I'm gonna just tell you, look, I'm gonna just say, look, when I asked you to take out the trash and you told me that was my job to do, I kind of felt some kind of way about that, because I'm taking out the trash because I want to, not because I'm obligated to. You know what I'm saying? How you feel to me, and this is how I communicate with Janae, this is how I communicate with you, with Denim, this is how I communicate. If it's something on my mind, I'm gonna just tell you what's on my mind. Like, how you take what I'm saying is completely up to you, but I'm gonna explain to you what's going on in my mind so we can get past it, so we can talk about it, whatever the case may be. It don't have to be no deep communication type of thing. Just talk. You know how you feel. You know it bothered you. At least that. I was bothered by it. Let's start there.
Okay. Before I go, Mom, you got anything to add? What would you say to
No.
those relations? Okay. So we all know, like I said, there are some relationships out there that we know that we probably thinking about right now. They're struggling with that communication part. And as
Yes.
easy as we're making it sound, it's like it's still not happening. And so I think that one of the great things is that me and Mike, with the help of our manager, Janae, are going to be creating our own little card game and
Yeah.
these prompts. Because some of the stuff we say on the podcast needs practical advice. It needs practical tips on how to do it, how to regulate. Here's some options. How to communicate hard topics with your partner. Here's some ways. How to pause and check your interpretation before you react and respond to what your partner said. What do you do when you're offended? And of course, it's going to be comical, but it's going to be insightful because a lot of people need help. And that's why tonight's podcast title is Did Relationship Advice Hurt or Help You?
Oof. Sheesh.
And what we're talking about tonight is looking at some of these conversations that people are saying have, but not really, them not showing you how to have them. And where do you go to get the help that you need? Because maybe your parents set a really bad example and they said, girl, don't trust no men. And maybe your dad said, son, don't let no woman run you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, did you recognize that was relationship advice? Did you recognize that you were going to subconsciously let that hardwire how you behave once you get in a relationship? Nobody's ever going to love you if you look like that. And now you can't even be comfortable at home. You got to keep a clean home if you want to keep your man. And now you keep cleaning because you think once you stop, he's going to leave you.
So Donovan, this is part of what I was talking about from the play last night, is that so much what we do is reactive. And it is. And so the things that we've learned or heard or taught or were subjected to in our younger life has created who we are now. So it might, I'm going to say for me, it's definitely a cleaning, right? Because I remember like you couldn't get anything else done or go outside or entertain anybody until the house was clean. And as a result of that, I started cleaning at night. So when I wake up in the morning, the house is done and then I can go straight out the door because that was a challenge coming up, right? And so then you set unrealistic expectations for somebody else that came up in a house where they were just comfortable and the house was just lived in.
Yeah. Say what it really was.
A mess.
Okay.
That wasn't the word you were looking for.
We honest on this show. Pigsty.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But some people are comfortable with that. And so it's nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
But I know that communication, when you're saying, well, just talk about it and stuff. And people were like, well, shouldn't you understand? You should figure that out. Like, don't you see it? Doing it? Right? I'm telling you what I've seen. It's like, well, I don't understand. But don't you want to talk about it? And your delivery is bad.
Yeah.
And it turns into something else.
Unfortunately, I think, growing up, as you become an adult, you figure out you have to unlearn everything that you've learned and kind of make it anew, because everything you learned as a kid, whether it's, men ain't this or that, or, women are this, make sure you watch out for this. All of that is based and rooted in fear anyways. And we're not supposed to operate that way. And so you have to unlearn all of those things, unfortunately. And I think that's the hard part, is that sometimes people don't realize that they have to unlearn those things. And that was where their bad communication starts to come from, is because you just feel like you're right, because this is what you've known growing up your whole entire life.
What's really tough about that, because it almost makes it seem like if you didn't say what you just said, sis, that you have to unlearn it, it almost makes it seem like two people cannot be compatible unless they had a similar childhood, unless they had similar type of parenting or guidance growing up, because that's how they're going to perform in relationships. But I think the freedom that most people can experience while listening to this conversation is that you can unlearn those things.
Yeah.
You can relearn and go do something new. And I think that it starts with the awareness that there is a subconscious way that I enter relationships and a conscious way. But you have to stop and ask yourself, why do I want what I want in relationships? Why do I respond this way? Who taught me that? And why do I hold on to it? Because the hardest part is that when you get toxic guidance from parents about relationships, and then you get into relationships where those people reinforce exactly what your parents were telling you.
Jeez.
And then one day you finally get into a healthy relationship, but your parents and every other relationship has already informed you that the toxic way seems to be like the best advice, and you don't know what to do with this good person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think what's really dope about getting into a relationship with somebody is y'all can create your own thing. It don't have to be like mom and dad did it, or like, we see Will and Jada do it, or, somebody on Instagram, couples goals, or anything like that. We can create what we want to create and cultivate it to be our thing. It don't have to, everybody don't even have to like it. Mm-hmm. Some people may look at you like, what? Y'all don't, who cares? You know what I'm saying? This is what works for us.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever watched that show by Mara Brock Akil. It was called Love Is. And it was a couple of years ago. They only had one season, unfortunately, because something happened. But and there's something she always said, and it always stuck with me. It said, she always say, love is attainable as long as you define it for yourself. And to kind of go back to what you were saying is same thing. Like, a lot of society shapes a lot of things that we do, right, in relationships anyways, but you can have whatever type of relationship it is that you want as long as you get to define it, you and your partner.
Yeah.
I love that. I wrote that down. I'm using it. Do you guys want to have some fun? And by fun, I mean, you want to tick some people off?
Oh, I'm all for it.
Everybody's there. All right. Ladies
this
and
is
gentlemen,
the wrong group to ask that question to.
It is. Listen, hold on. Before we go there, Ray said, I just had this very conversation with an uncle this morning. I was trying to explain this whole scenario. Listen,
oh wow,
run this back to him.
Yeah,
let him check it out.
Yeah.
So this is a video. It's our first video tonight. Please bear with us. I saved this for an episode where we would have a woman on the show. We have two tonight. So, gentlemen, get ready to be blessed.
Oh, so how tall are you?
5'11". I mean, technically 5'11 and a half.
I just thought you were taller for some reason.
Okay, go ahead. Let me ask you something. How much do you weigh?
Excuse me?
How much do you weigh?
Did you really just ask me that?
What's the problem? You asked me how tall I am.
Because I like to wear heels. And I don't want to tower over the man that I'm with.
And I don't want a woman who weighs more than I do.
Why does it matter?
Well, why would it matter if you're taller than me in heels?
No girl wants to be taller than their man. It's not hot.
Nor is it hot for girls to be heavier than their men.
How does it affect your life?
I like to pick my ladies up, swing them around, engage in a bit of horseplay every now and again.
If you can't handle all this, that's a you problem.
I'm just somebody who believes in equality, and I feel like if I shared my height with you, why can't you share your weight?
So now what? Now I have to go and buy all new shoes to fit your height?
You are thick, and the thickness is appreciated.
So what are we even talking about?
The thickness has diminishing returns.
Wow, wow, wow.
Okay, then let me just guess. 160?
Are you actually guessing my weight right now?
170? Am I heading in the right or wrong direction?
You know what? You can't handle a big, thick woman.
You strike me as a very self-confident woman, and now I'm just curious why you're so touchy about the weight.
You are talking yourself right out of some ass.
I still want to know.
Cassius.
So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we are discussing the double standard. The double standard. They want to know our height, but they don't want to share their weight. That's just the beginning of the double standard. What are your immediate responses to the video? Anybody? It's up for grabs.
Listen,
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious too, but I agree. You ask his height, why not share your weight? For me, I'm like, who cares?
But you got friends who care. Talk about them. Why do they care so much about a man's height but don't want to share their weight? Or care about if a man has a unit or if that's really his car, and they have on, fake hair, fake boobs. Like, if the double standard is I can put on whatever I want as a woman to make myself appealing to you, but I'm going to call out everything I think about you that's fake, but don't ask me about what's mine. I have the receipt for everything.
Yeah. So I don't even know if I'm the right woman to ask this because I agree on the man's side, like the double standard when it comes to
so you acknowledge that there is a double standard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know, sis. I'll just ask you to talk about your friends that I met, huh?
Oh, not that I met.
Who said that?
Nobody.
That's your friends that I met.
Jesus, and she gonna repeat it. Mom, what do you think?
There are double standards, and if goes back to something Janae said earlier. It's things that we were taught, right? So it was inappropriate for a man to ask your age, to ask your weight. Those are just things that we were told as young women. Like, that's not what you do, right? But I've got friends that, you know, that work out that are thick, and they're happy to say, you know, I weigh 160 or I weigh 165 or one. But is it? And then I know guys that like thick girls, and they don't care if the girl weighs more than they do. Now, my children are sworn to secrecy. We don't talk age on my side. No, that's not your business. You don't need to know. You can't even ask me how old my children are. You're trying to do the math.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. So why is it that though? So is that because growing up that's what you learned, or is there another reason you adopted that?
Because you look 45, so
vanity.
Stop trying to guess.
I love that. I love that answer. I love that answer.
Because it's honest. It's true. Vanity. That's fair.
So is that only for women or for men? Do you? Let me ask a question that's probably never asked. Have you guys stopped to think that maybe the double standard is healthy?
So I would need give me something of why it's healthy. Like let's
deal with the video, right? Though the double standard, she's assessing and analyzing him based on what she perceives he needs to be for her, right? His role as a protector and provider, right? Yeah. Understanding that in society, taller men.
No. All she said was she wanted to know how tall he was, so she would know how high her heels could be.
No. She said no woman wants to tower over her man. She said, am I supposed to buy all new heels just to accommodate your height? Because she thought he was over 6 feet. That's what she said. So her heels are already supposedly towering over him. And so there's something. So we had this conversation on the show before. That's why I'm trying to balance the playing field when it comes to double standard. Women on this podcast have openly said that a taller man makes them feel safer, regardless if he has a gun or knows how to fight. Taller makes them feel safer. And so that's the societal norm. That's the societal prototype for a man to be able to make his woman feel safe and be able to provide, right? Taller men, more muscular men have more power when it comes to business. That means more ability to make income, right? That's one side of it. Now, when you look at a typical woman's role, when we talk about having babies or being able to cook, very, machismo in the way that I'm talking about it, but none of that stuff matters. We just want to know if your baby maker works and do you know how to cook? And so when it looks at fulfilling the societal role as a man or a woman, it seems like the double standard makes a little bit more sense, because when it comes down to fulfilling your role, our analysis is totally different from a woman's.
So I'm going to agree with Janae that I think double standard is fine. Like I thought that it was fine because of all the things that he said, right? I like to pick my woman up. I want to swing her around. I'm going to share something that Donovan probably doesn't even know or remember. But a long time ago, right? There was somebody that, this is really a long time ago, but there's somebody that Donovan was dating. And in church, some of the older ministers, deacons, he's a young man and where he comes from, and they're concerned about his future. And their comment was, I don't know about that one, because she's just one McDonald's meal away from, look at Mike and everybody's face. Janae's eyebrows went up too. They said,
that is so rude.
That's what they said. They were like, that's not the one for him because they're thinking about him, children. They said she's just one McDonald's meal away from just, no.
So it is, as quote unquote messed up as that may sound, even to this day, one of Donovan's things is being fit. You know what I mean? Not necessarily weight, but being fit. So I get that, and how he looks at women is just I feel is different, because like you said, the baby maker thing, and I think when he said an overweight woman, he wants to make sure that you're gonna be here long enough for us to enjoy life. So I get it. As messed up as that may sound, I would actually probably agree with him.
So the thing about it that she was not. She just had a different build. She had, and Mike understand this.
What is
Mike,
a different build? What
she
does
had
that mean?
I'll tell you what it means. She had a New Orleans, Houston build.
Okay. Well,
And you would assume that those hips to waist ratio would, for the untrained eye, it would appear that she was one Happy Meal away. But wasn't nothing gonna change the shape of that Happy Meal. I'm gonna tell you that.
So, but as my grandmother would say, what it takes to get him is what it takes to keep him. And so
Say it again, Ma.
You have one baby, and what the package was that I bought now has changed and may not return to its original form.
Yeah.
It's work on it.
This is the foundation of why ankles are so important. Ankles will always tell you how a woman's body is going to bounce back after pregnancy. That is the reason. Yes, it's science, hardcore science, neuroscience, biological science, ocean science, space science.
Mike.
It's your son, Mom. This is your son. I don't know. Jesus. To your point though, Mom, I agree. Are we getting off topic?
Don't matter.
Okay, cool. To your point though, Mom, Janae went through a extreme, weight loss, and it does take getting used to, but I think that, especially in a marriage, if we're in it, we're in it. It's up to us to figure out how we're going to, go about this new shell. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that it has to be, I'm not attracted to you no more. I'm gonna go find somebody else, like some men and some women end up doing. When guys get, they get their beer belly and all of a sudden they're not attractive no more. Like, it's just, I just feel like people sometimes have cop-outs and look for reasons on why, they don't want to be in the relationship. Because look, me, that's kind of small if we're talking about a lifetime together.
I will jump in that conversation with you, brother. I think it is a cop out for some people because they married I'm not gonna say the wrong reason, but they married for a superficial reason. And now they're carrying the weight of a lifelong commitment with superficial handles.
Oh, say that, bro. That's good.
And as soon as one of those handles break, because you got a very heavy bag with some knockoff handles on it, and now you don't know what to do with the weight anymore. Well, if those superficial handles broke, brother, you pick that thing up and you cradle it because the value is in the bag.
Come on, man.
You should have had better handles.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't get better handles just by looking at somebody. When you're dating them, you got to ask certain questions. You got to invest in their heart, their mind, their soul. What do they care about? And then you start to see that not only do you look good in this season, there's certain things that you bring to my life that I can't find anywhere else. That means no matter what happens to the shell, I still recognize that I need you. The issue is that people are scared, and we have this conversation if you want to, they're scared that they admit they need somebody. Therefore, they marry people that they like or they're attracted to, and other people out here married to people for 30, 40, 50, 60 years that's gone through all kind of visual changes, but the love is sustained because they recognize that in order for me to have this life, I need what this person has on the inside. I need their heart, their mind, their soul, their commitment, their character. Those things didn't change with the car accident. Those things didn't change after she had the baby. Those things didn't change with age and with gravity. They're still there, and I still need them.
That's good.
Because that's what's gonna happen inevitably. Everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The nuts is gonna shrivel up. The boobs is gonna start to sag a little bit.
Right.
And if that's all that kept you,
Miami for? Huh?
Huh?
I thought you said plastic surgery. My bad. Keep going.
No, I'm just saying. Mom over here shaking her head.
You love them on the inside. I just ignore that.
Yeah, for sure.
Inside, yeah.
Yes, but I know a lot of women who again can have the husband, and I've seen it, have the husband that love them no matter what, but they don't love themselves anymore. When they're
that's good.
Real talk.
That's good.
And if they don't, my mom told me, whenever I find a girl interested or interesting, or I want to date or thinking about dating, she said the first question to ask her is, does she love herself? And I've learned to keep that as a marker.
Man.
After big events happen, do you love yourself any less? Do you still love yourself? Because her willingness and intention to love you is always going to derive from how much she loves herself. And if she has a relationship with God, how much she thinks God loves her. That's driving every other behavior.
That's good. That's
Good
good.
preach.
That's good, man. That's so good. And I wish I had that marker to go by in my dating history, because it would have saved probably me and her from a lot, and those women from a lot of just unnecessary time spent. You know what I mean? Just investing in somebody I'm expecting to love me, but how you gonna love me and you don't love you?
That.
Yeah, man.
Because something happened in their childhood
Yeah, come on, ma. Yeah.
that just shaped who they are.
Mhm.
Who they
Some
believe they are.
disappointment, some separation, something happened. And so how they defined love and what it was supposed to look like, trust or the lack of, yeah.
And it's so interesting because if you grew up seeing love in a certain way, but even if you had a belief that it could be better, but you never got exposed to it, like your aunties don't have healthy relationships, your cousins, your sister doesn't, like people in your community, it's always the police there because of domestic violence.
Yeah.
You want to believe in it, but you've never seen it. Right. So my friends ask me also, like, what do you do? Exposure is important. You got to get out of that zip code. You got to know that it's out there and do all you can to go find it, because there's nothing like being in the presence of two people who love each other beyond the superficial. It will change your perspective and your drive on what you believe is possible and what you need to aim for. But some of us have been brought up and molded in a toxic norm that somehow is then the scent is on us, and we attract people like that. And when we see it, we think that that's how it's supposed to be because that's all that we saw. But if you've ever watched a podcast or watched a movie and you started to believe there was more, and somebody told you that you were delusional for believing in that, don't fall for that. Don't stop looking for it. Change your zip code. Get out there in a different city, a different state, a different country, because it exists. The people who wrote the movies wrote it from somebody they saw. It's a real thing out there.
Yeah, I like that.
So let's go back to the end of the video, though.
Okay.
Just to tie it all together.
Of course, mother.
So,
yes.
How was that supposed to end? Because he said, but I still want to know.
Yeah.
So did she like him enough? Was she invested enough to say, okay, here, I'm all in. I weigh 180 pounds, and then he's going to make a decision, right? Or not.
The question is, at what date do you ask her weight? Is that date 3, date 4? Never.
So I think what does it matter? What is it? What does it matter? How much? I don't think I ever asked.
He wants to pick his woman up.
He was looking at her as she walked up the stairs.
Right. So maybe he needs to get in the gym.
I agree. If it was a problem.
Jesus Goliath.
If it's I'm with mom. I get what you're saying, bro. But I'm saying if it's a problem for him, why are we still on the date? You seen what she looked like when she got out the car. Why are you still here?
You think that he would have asked her that if she didn't ask his height?
Because let me ask the question to you guys. So I have found in the past, guys are usually pretty good about sizing women up and estimating how much they weigh. I don't know if that's because you guys go to the gym or something, or you can tell from a hug, or you do the Ray Charles thing and feel her wrist.
Her wrist.
Right? Oh, but can you guys kind of tell, like, yeah, she looked like she about $150, or no, she's
yes.
200.
I would say yeah. I would say yeah.
My thought is that he asked her out of sassiness because she said, "I thought you did."
For sure.
He went into sass mode.
Yeah, he felt some kind of way because his little ego kind of got pricked. His little ego got pricked a little bit.
If a man ever tell you I'm 5, sometimes 5'11" and a half.
Yeah, anytime a nigga put a half on it,
big enough.
Just how you guys can tell, like what a woman may weigh. We also got eyes. We can see. We could probably guesstimate your height.
True.
So it's the same thing.
If she's asking
the height, if she's gonna ask him about his height, he can ask her about her weight. What's the problem?
Okay, so let's do this then. Let's because we're not superficial. Everybody can go around. Mom, Janae, Mike. If there's something that you always had to ask on a date, theirs was height and weight. If there's something that you always had to ask on a date, what was that question?
Ooh. Something I
Are you
always
single?
freezing on
forget.
my side. So if I'm a little
Oh my
lagged,
God.
because it's frozen on me on my side.
Oh my God, Mama.
What mom say?
Say
Are
it
you
again,
single?
Mama. Jesus Lord.
Damn. Hey, what's crazy is I'm not even mad at that question because listen, it's wild. It's wild out here. It's wild out here. What
How
is your
about
wife's
this?
name?
Is your wife married?
What is your wife's name? Is your wife married? This is what I grew up with, you guys. This was my childhood. This woman, right? My poor sister is stuck over there. Oh God. Anybody else? Is there a question that you must ask that's always important to you that is a deal breaker almost?
A deal breaker. Gotta ask the
Okay,
question.
in the chat, nobody's talking tonight. We don't have
Oh,
any.
we are ignoring. Sorry, chat.
Deal breaker.
Where's
Go
our
ahead.
people?
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would. Mine probably would be like, are you a believer? Do you believe in God? Because in my personal opinion, I need a man that follows God, because that's the only way I can follow you. If you don't submit to somebody other than yourself, we can't be together.
I feel that.
Fair enough.
I feel that.
Mike, you got a question?
Nah, for me, bro, going when I was the sit back and watch. So I'm watching how you respond to certain things, watching to see if the waiter takes too long with our food, or you getting super irritated and irate. So, I kind of just sat back and watched, and then from what I gained from that date, then maybe I have questions based on that. Like, okay, so is this usually how you react in these type of situations?
I feel that. I like that. I mean, my answer is still going to be, do you love yourself? That was the best thing my mom has ever, taught me when it comes to dating. One of the best things is because for me, that does start to paint a very clear picture in my mind of like what this interaction is going to be like. Because Ray said his question is, what are you expecting from this interaction? And that expectations question is a great question.
It is.
To ask.
Okay, Johnny, I have a question for you. So if you're asking her if she loves herself and she says yes, do you then ask a follow-up question like, how do you know?
Babe, that's good, because that's good.
Yeah. So if you look at the questionnaire that I give all my coaching clients, what is
Please don't get back to your date.
I'm trying not to, but it's rough out here these days.
Man.
No, I'm kidding. It's really not. So there's a question of, do you love yourself? How do you know that you love yourself? And if you're doing something, how do you know that it's working? So I think for me, the initial question is not asked often. And there's something about their knee-jerk reaction that also starts to inform you of where they stand when it comes to that question. It's like one of those mind tricks. Like my grandmother told me, whenever you're dating somebody, what's their name? And she said the way that you say their name tells the person listening a lot about how you feel about them at any given point. It's the way that you say their name. Oh, Lisa. You're saying Lisa. Lisa. It always informs you by how you say the name in that moment, how you're presently feeling. A little trick she taught me back in the day. So yeah, I think I would follow it up with, how do you know? Because in the book Before the I Do, if it said, if you want to know how a person is going to treat you after they say they love you, look at other things that they say that they love, and that might give you an indication.
Yep,
that's good. That's good.
All right.
So is that? Hold on, I don't know if I want to leave from there yet, because it's so many women that would say, you would ask that question to. And they say, yeah, I love myself. Look at me. Look how I'm dressed. Look how I present myself to the world. I must love myself, when the whole time you dead inside.
Nah, bro. I would honestly tell you, not every woman has said yes.
No, I'm not saying every woman will say yes. Some do, though, and not even.
Yeah.
You know by their answer. If their answer is, look the way I'm dressed. Like, it's a superficial answer. Not I go to the gym. Look how I carry myself. I make sure I eat properly. I make sure I'm going to get my female checkups every 6 months. I go to the dentist every 6 months. Like them type of answers I'd be looking for. Not the way I dress. Oh yeah, I buy myself Louboutin, so I love myself. Like
yeah.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter. It's not
Yeah.
where you grab that conclusion from, but it's interesting. I don't know if maybe it's just the timing that I've asked it, but every time I've asked it, it's been a pause, a moment, a pregnant pause where the person really does say, "Wait a minute, what did you just ask me?" You'll be
Yeah.
surprised how many people have never been asked that question by a family member, a friend, a mentor. Do you love yourself? Some people have never been asked that question.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's good.
We got some more in the chat.
I like what Carrie said. Have you always loved yourself?
Jesus, that's good too.
Ooh-wee. That's a good one.
Yeah.
If you haven't, how did you get there? That's good.
These are these first date questions, second date questions? You guys know I can often go too deep.
Man, first date. Who got time to sit here and put these questions? Listen, if you want to know, ask the shit.
We old out here. We ain't got time for all that.
We old out here. Golly. Tyler said, "Thank you, Janae, because I was like that. So you love yourself has to have some follow up to it."
She also said, by their fruit, you will know them. So that's good. I like that. And shout out to our niece, Logan. She's watching again.
Logan.
Hi, Logan.
Pay attention to the mic. We got V Colt on Instagram said the question that they ask is, "What's your purpose for dating?" That's a good question.
What's your purpose for dating? That is a good question. Because listen, if you're here for a good time and not a long time, I need to know. And not I need to know so I can be out. I need to know because maybe I am too.
Agreed. Don't take my choice away. I always say that. Don't take my choice away. Give me all the information so I can make the choice that I want to make.
This is good because Ferguson Marv said, "I've never been asked that question. Never been asked, do you love yourself?" You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
Like some of these questions is worth asking, even if they may sound redundant, because we didn't all grow up the same.
I agree.
And I'm looking on Instagram. Mike, you looking on IG on maybe this will help?
Yeah, I keep going back to it. Yeah, we're good.
And I think for me, when I think about that question and these questions, for me, it just reminds me that it doesn't matter where a person came from. It matters where they're going. So we could come from two different cultures, have two different childhoods, but are we headed in the same direction? I think that says more about compatibility than who trains you. Because as we, you know what? I'm going to put this up so we can have this conversation. I'm going to let you guys go if you're ready to get up out of here. But this is a question I put on my story earlier this week. Women in love act like a mini you. They pick up your hobbies, use your slang, listen to your music. And so I was going to say that, you know, when I hang out with people and I'm getting to know them, or I'm dating them, or I'm starting to like them, I can be very infectious because I bring a lot of my personality to the table. And so evidence of how into you she is can be drawn from if she's picking up your hobbies. Does she use your slang? Does she listen to your music? Do you guys think that is true? And do you also think that it's true for men when they love a woman?
Well, anybody who follows Donnie would have saw my response because he bombarded me in my kitchen and asked me this question. So I would say, well, my answer, if you didn't follow Donnie and see that, is yes. I think I have picked up a lot of my husband's traits and hobbies. He works out a ton, and I didn't work out a lot, you know, when we first started dating, but now,
yes,
I follow him to the gym. And so,
even when I don't go, shoot.
Sometimes when he doesn't go, I go, or we have to go at different times. I like guns. I didn't like guns. Not that I didn't like guns. I was never exposed to guns prior to my husband. So now I like guns. I like to shoot guns. I have my own guns. Slang. Yep. I used to slang. Music. Yeah. I feel like we both influence each other on music for sure.
Hood
ratchet. Now with that new song,
don't make me sing it. Don't make me sing it.
God, it's so ghetto.
It is.
Why are you smiling?
It's like it's so bad that it's good. That's why.
So, Mom, is this true for your generation as well? That when a woman is in love, she becomes a mini version of that man?
Don't hit Mom with her generation. She just told you about the age thing. You don't even got to do that.
You highlighting it, bro. We're not the same age. So I just want to make sure we clear that up.
So I
I've seen it happen. So let's just go back with my generation. So back in the day, you know, if you were in a relationship, people had to dress alike. So you had on the same, you know, it was back when it was Flip Hollywood or Cross Colors or whatever.
He still do it. He still does it.
People dressed alike and talked alike. But let me just say this. I've seen this happen time and time again with Donovan. And all of a sudden, there is a mini me, him, right? And it's annoying.
I agree.
Something happened to Mom's internet.
It's annoying for me. That was good.
Mom's internet went up.
Did I just get kicked
What is
off?
happening?
It's annoying.
Michael.
It's true. It is annoying. I agree. 1,000%.
Oh my God. And then they want to have a conversation with me, but they're talking to me like they're him, and I'm annoyed.
Dang.
I'm
And
glad
that's great because
I'm so glad you saw that. Yes. Agreed.
I love that because it helps me identify if they stick with it. I'm the one they want to marry anyway, not you. So it doesn't matter who else is annoyed with it. Right? Right.
You don't want to
All
marry
right,
you.
cool.
You don't want to marry you.
I was about to say, you want to marry
Who?
you?
Who don't?
You don't want to marry you.
He can't wait to find out himself.
It wasn't even a question. Y'all niggas are assuming y'all was me for a day. Yeah, I'm sorry you feel that way about yourself, champ.
Actually, you don't. Donnie, you don't want to marry your own self.
The degree you guys are going to trying to convince me lets me know that you understand how awesome I am. In a heartbeat, no dates necessary, brother.
Listen, bro, you just buy yourself a wig and just be single.
Date or ring. I got my hair long enough, man.
God,
that's an interesting topic, though. Would you want to marry you? Like that's again, that's interesting within itself.
I don't need a wig. Just take that bun out.
That's funny. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Mama. See, we're not doing this tonight. I don't know what she going to do.
We doing it all. Yeah.
Man. Anyway, I like it. I'll tell you straight up and down. I like it when they become a mini version of me. And I also like it when I pick up certain traits of them. For me, it indicates that there is a level of safety and admiration there that willingly wants to blend. And I like what that means, right? So, you know, and even with me and Mike, you know what I'm saying? There's a safety there and an admiration that makes a willingness to want to blend with that person. And for me, I've been in the opposite situation where there was a very strong boundary against any kind of assimilation or likeness or picking up any kind of traits. There was this strong stance on this is who I am, this is who you are. And for me, that's just not something that I'm looking for. It's not so I'm looking for someone who's willing to explore how many ways. Not all of them. We don't necessarily have to. If we did, I wouldn't mind that either. But how many ways that we naturally blend and mold? Because one day we're going to make a baby that's half of both of us. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that just for me, because I think, you know, excessively deep about certain things, or more, not even excessively, just more deep than other people think about it. For me, it's a great sign. It is almost an absolute necessary sign. Look at my mom's shirt.
This is great. 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 This, oh my God.
Donnie, that's your new gym shirt.
That is hilarious.
Is it a crop top?
His new gym shirt.
It's not.
That is hilarious.
I need me a me is what my mom's shirt says. So the woman who says you don't need to marry yourself has a shirt in arm's reach that says I need me a me. I would love to have me and me.
Carrie says, yes, Mom.
Okay, so I have a question, babe. Would you want to marry you?
Hell no.
I agree. I don't want to marry myself either.
I get on my own nerves sometimes. Like, nigga, stop. What are you doing? No.
But I love me, and I'd love to marry me.
Yeah, I love me too, but I feel like I want my partner to be different than me, so I can learn different ways from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question though is deeper than that. So if they were assimilating to a lot of your ways, would that be a turnoff?
At some point, for me, it would.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, because I don't need you to be.
A yes man?
Yeah, I need you to be a yes woman, for lack of a better term.
This is so interesting. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
I want you.
Oh, her.
Oh, she froze.
You should let the internet out. Close the window.
That's why she needs to be back here in the man cave. We good. You got to repeat all of that. It's frozen.
No, I keep going out, and you guys keep freezing, and I don't understand what's going on. I just be sitting here.
Repeat that last thing you said. Nope, not doing that. Anyway, Donovan, what were you gonna say?
So when she comes back, I'll let her jump back in there. But I think
I froze again.
Yeah, you froze it. Put it in the chat.
I froze again.
Don't do my wife like that. Don't do my wife like that.
Oh man. The question I asked was, if they became more and more like you, would that be a turnoff? And I think to each his own, first of all, right? There's certain things that people need to help them balance each other off and whatnot. But I do believe that if that's organically what's happening and you enjoy it, don't think it's egotistical. You know what I'm saying? Don't think it's a bad thing. Just let it flow into how it is. I think that sometimes people see themselves becoming too much like the person they may be dating, and they try to stop it because they like it, but they feel like it's not healthy to like it. Listen, if it's working for y'all, let it work. If that's what makes you guys flow and grow, and you've changed and you got a whole new set of friends, you got a whole new set of hobbies, you know what I'm saying? You don't go to the same places. But if that's working for your relationship, let it flow. So I think sometimes people are so scared to let go of this personality they've had for so long, and everything in life is pointing to an evolution. And they just don't, they're like, no, because now I'm talking like you, I'm losing myself. It's not for everybody, but I would love to lose me in love. I would love to lose me in love, because some people think, well, you're going to lose yourself and think something bad is going to happen. Not if you're in love. I think if I'm in love, something great is going to happen. There may be a degree of me that I never would have been able to reach absent meeting this person and being willing to let myself go in love. And that is a risk that I'm willing to take.
So that being said, you would still marry yourself because you're just talking about a whole nother person. This sounds
but think about the time you've known me, Mike, and how I've evolved.
I don't want to think about that.
Because you get teary-eyed?
Angry.
Yeah, angry with how long it took you to accept me as a brother. I get it. Listen, I think that the way that I am, anybody who's known me for any amount of time, is not egotistical. It's just understanding I love the act of evolving, right? So anybody who is becoming like me, it's not just the hobbies and the habits and the slang. It is this commitment and this desire for evolution. And so anyone who is inspired or admires me or somebody else who's on that path, it really is their commitment to this self-evolution. And how I am is going to continue to change and grow according to, how clear my purpose and my calling are to me. But enough of you guys teaming up on me about me wanting to marry myself.
And it's okay, because let me stop with this. So when two become one, let's just go there.
Yeah.
Right. And so even though it's comical, and I'm reading what's in the chat, there are portions of me that would probably be very attracted to somebody else that carries a lot of the same qualities or has the same morals or goals or those kind of things, right? So not me completely, but yes, the things that I do, I need me that's going to grind, that's a lover of people, that's kind, those kind of things. But when two become one, there's always the greatest compliment when somebody mimics you or dresses like you or wants to be like you. But aren't we supposed to stretch and grow each other? And if we can pick up habits along the way, that's what Don was saying? Isn't that a beautiful thing? That's not a negative thing.
That for sure.
Right? Yeah.
Agreed.
So Donovan, we give you a hard time, but I mean, if it's authentic, but if they're just mimicking you,
there it is, Mom. Say that part. If it's authentic.
Sometimes it takes a while for it to become authentic. Y'all don't have no patience. Just be patient with people. Sometimes, listen, if you've ever, I gotta plead my case. Have you ever in
How
your
do we
life,
kick Donnie off of here?
Janae been trying to kick me out all day, try to kick me out of her house earlier. Have you guys, the three of you guys, have you ever in your life wanted something so bad that you would pretend, you were willing to pretend just to get it, to keep it? If it was a job, if it was an opportunity, you was trying to fashion yourself to show up a certain way just so you can have it. And later on, it could become authentic, but in the beginning, it was pretending just because you didn't know how to express in a healthy way how much you admired it.
So let me okay. Let me make my head itch. Donnie has such a Donnie answer. That's such a Donnie answer.
Always.
I no, that sounds crazy. Have you
been in here?
doing something that is not authentic? It's not sustainable.
No, it's not.
You can't sustain that. It doesn't just become authentic all of a sudden because you want it to be.
At all. But my point is that every person on this podcast has operated in that inauthentic way, even subconsciously, because they didn't know how to show admiration in a healthy way. I'm just trying to normalize that the behavior does come up, and then we do have to check ourselves. But just because someone is inauthentic, I don't think it's a reason to say nope. It's a reason to pause and say, hey, I see what you're trying to do. And it's coming across as pretending and faking. What's really going on with you? Well, shoot, I don't want to lose you. And I really like what's going on. And last time somebody told me just to be like him and that way I can keep him. Well, let's talk about a healthier way to do it. I think that oftentimes it's in this culture, it's a cancel culture. We're too quick to cut people off when they get right outside of authenticity. And we all do it. So I'm just saying, just be a little patient with people because they might be operating from very healthy motives with just a very miseducated way on how to pursue it.
So let me ask a question, because the three of us are on the outside looking in. So if you're saying that, would you have that conversation? Do you ever have that conversation when you see somebody mimicking you or talking like you or acting like you? Like that's not how you met them, but all of a sudden that's what they become. So you don't have to answer it, but I'm just saying for the rest of us that are looking at it while it's happening, and we're looking like,
yeah,
really? Does she sound just like Donovan? Does he act just like him?
Because it happens with girls and guys. Go ahead, sis.
I think it's one thing to like pick up, like, or learn something from someone that you're dating and like, okay, I actually like that you do that. That's something I want to adopt too. That's different than just doing that because you think that's what they want.
Carrie said, this is giving SW, is that Stepford Wives? Is that what, I don't know what the SWF stands for.
I don't either.
Hey, spell that out for us. Tyler said, but if a person is for you, be you, because have them find out that wasn't you. Naturally, you're not staying. I hear you guys. I think that again, my perspective on humanity comes from the people that I've coached, and I've seen people really try to do some great things from some very horrible practices, and that's why I'm just more patient. That's why I have more tolerance. That's why I just try to give people the benefit of the doubt more than often, that they're not trying to fake to get in to do something diabolical. They're just operating from a place of, this is the best I know how to do in this moment. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know that everybody's not built for that. And that's why it's easy for me to walk this path and give these responses, because they're very sincere and authentic, and you guys can feel it even when you don't understand it, nor would you practice it yourself. But I think that you know a tree by the fruit that it bears. And so if you look at me and my life and understand how I approach life and still see how I'm experiencing life while carrying these beliefs, somewhere you got to know that it's working for me.
Thank you, Carrie.
I'll save that for Tuesday.
In the SWF. So Carrie,
single white female.
Females. That's a lot better than what I said.
What'd you say, Mama?
Some weird effing vibes.
Oh, golly.
Oh.
This is fair enough. What else y'all got? Please. Nothing? Did I just quiet the whole room? I'm sorry, you guys.
Nah, me and you have this conversation probably every Tuesday.
Mike is used to
it like Janae. So
It's
I
understandable.
don't.
It's understandable. It's
I
fine.
don't Donnie talk me. I ain't I got nothing to say. You ain't for the Donnie
Listen,
talk.
I don't. If I wasn't Donnie talking, then I'd be pretending and faking, right?
No. I don't want to talk to life coach Donnie. I'm gonna talk to my brother Donnie.
And see, so that's the way that people interact with me, like they have a remote to choose who they get to talk to. They don't. I have 12 people in here. Whichever one is passionate in the moment gets the microphone.
Do you ever think that that's the wrong one that got the microphone?
Why would I think that?
I'm just asking. Is it
No.
ever the wrong one?
No, if he overpowered the other 11, he got it.
You got that, champ.
You got it, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you already know, sis, even with my coaching sessions, I don't really deal with right or wrong. I deal with honest and dishonest. I think that on the road to evolution, on the road to just trying to become your best self, on the road to success, most time people get caught up on trying to do the right thing. Just do the honest thing. Just do the honest thing. Honesty gets you into a path of authenticity quicker than doing the right thing does. Because
And
right is so vague according to who is telling you what's right and what's wrong.
when you say honesty, are you saying be honest with yourself?
Is there another option?
Yeah, you can be. Well, so if honesty, if I don't know, honesty is saying, you know, you're not supposed to drive in the carpool lane, but you know your wife is in the on the passenger seat about to give birth or something, so you get in that carpool. You're being. I felt this was the right thing to do in this moment, even though society, the law says it's not. So there is. So that's what I'm saying. Are you saying be honest to yourself, or be honest to what your boss said at work? Your boss said that you couldn't leave at a certain time, but you know you got all your work done. Now you're just sitting there on the clock, not doing nothing.
What do you think I would do, Mike? Because you know me.
I already know what you would do. I'm asking you so you can tell the people.
Honest with yourself. And I think that it gets tricky in that scenario because we're talking about laws and everything. But at the same time, at the end of this life, when you look back over how you lived this life, do you want to say I was a law-abiding citizen, or do you want to say I was authentic? I was honest with myself, and I allowed myself room to make mistakes, room to take risk, room to try, because I don't know what your story is and you're able to have it. But for me, I do want to be able to say that I lived a life where I tried to live while I was alive.
Yeah.
And that means I may have curiosities that I want to explore within discipline. If you want to live a safe life and do the things that you believe are right, then it's going to produce a certain kind of life for you. And that's good for you. That's good. That doesn't fulfill me. And my mom knows that I've not grown into this as I've gotten older. I've been like this since I was a child. All right, what we got in chat? Amber said, I don't do well with manipulation. It bothers me. So pretending can be seen as manipulation if the intentions are there. Mm-hmm. What is this? Oh, no, he's got a jury of voices in his... Not a jury.
Well, Mike said something about the 11.
Yeah.
Gee whiz. All right, you guys, check it out. It's 9:37. I have definitely kept you guys past an hour. Do you want to finish the show, or are you guys complete, as they would say in therapy? You complete? You got some more in you?
I'll follow Janae's lead.
Oh no, I'm good for another, what is that, 20 minutes?
22 minutes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, if that's the case, I have another video for you guys.
Oh, how tall are you?
Hilarious. Wasn't in his profile.
Right.
That was my fault. Here we go.
I saw this post that said men are supposed to leave, not match the energy of a woman. Well, bitch, you're not supposed to be a bitch neither. So you can act that way, but he can't because he's supposed to lead. Aren't we supposed to give each other the same energy? Right? Align each other, be good to each other. You can't be in a fake mood and he has to be like, no, it's okay, babe. No, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Remember yes, they have to be able to create these safe spaces for us to jump in that bitch. But at the same time, you need to work on yourself to be able to receive it. Because if you're constantly still hurt, constantly still in this defensive mode, no one's going to be able to come and love you and be with you if you don't work on you. Work on you so they can feel safe to come into that space too, baby. We can't just be leaving it to them. No, you got to fix my attitude. You got to do this. What about you? Take accountability too, boo. Yes, they're supposed to lead, but we're not supposed to come with some nasty attitude that they have to excuse our behavior. No, we're not excusing this. No, get your shit together too. What are we doing?
All right, just to preface this, the reason I posted this video is because we asked a question a few weeks ago saying women need to feel safe. Everybody agreed, but do men need to feel safe also? And if so, do they need to feel it the same way that a woman needs to feel safe? That's what we're talking about tonight. So please, whatever your response is to that video.
Okay. So I agree with her as far as like, yes, the man is supposed to lead, but you can't just be acting all types of ways and expect him to remain in, I guess, a right state to be leading, right? I also think that dang, I lost my whole train of thought. Hold on.
So while you thinking, babe, I'll say this. I love the video. I agree with her 100%. But what I think about it is she when women are picking partners, or women are going through their whole dating phase, I think that there's this stigma that men are supposed to deal with certain things, that men are. I've even heard women tell me that, oh, my next dude is gonna have to tame me. My next dude is gonna have to somebody. It's gonna take a strong man to have to deal with me. And they wear these things like badges of honor that it's so difficult to be with them. And it's wild, bro. It's wild. But I think that that's what society kind of pushes and culture kind of pushes to be masculine almost, and to step into the role of, well, I'm a boss and ain't no man gonna be a bigger boss than me. And then they get in these relationships and now you want to be a sauce girl, but you still got big boss energy and it don't work.
Ray said this goes along with, I need a man to put me in my place. No, put yourself there.
Come on, Ray.
And Rashonda said those are father wounds.
Ooh.
Tress James said, I don't want to have to deal with you.
Yeah, capital DEAL. Yeah.
Carrie said, dang, tame.
Yeah.
Mom, you got anything to add to the conversation?
In the beginning, she just talked about matching energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And if he's supposed to be leading, and so I kind of just got caught up in the bitch part, right? Because I've seen women in relationships and things happen. It's like, well, who's going to be the bitch? You or me?
Woo-wee. Yikes. Yeah.
Who's on bottom?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, in a different way of saying it, would it be fair for me to say who's going to be more emotionally sporadic? Is that what we're saying? Is it fair to say it that way?
I'm sorry, is this a PG show?
No, not at all. Okay. Not at all. No. But I just want people to be able to take that phrase and put it into practical terms. Like, oh, we're talking about inability to regulate emotionally, or we're talking about women having a tendency to deal with different hormones than men do, and they need to be okay with that because they operate through life differently. What are we saying?
Amber says, I would hope neither.
Okay.
Or regulated, right.
So let me tell you guys why this video came up. Last week, we put a video up and it said that boys match energy, men lead. And it says that when a man walks in and you're in a bad mood, he doesn't match your energy. He instead stays regulated, stays solid, and leads you into a better place. That's his role as a man. Now, this video is saying from the woman's lens, like, that's making it very difficult on him. Why don't you also present the kind of energy that he could match and not always have to be the one, the bigger person per se in a situation, the most regulated person per se all the time, because over time that may lead him to a different type of woman.
Because you could just say like, hey, I'm feeling away right now, or I'm not, in the best mood right now. You can say those things. He doesn't have to read your energy. You can just tell him where you're at.
But for those who don't, what are we saying to them? Is there any kind of self-check that
Communicate.
Okay. What does that look like? What's that conversation sound like? Can we play that out?
Okay, I walk in and I have attitude.
Uh-huh.
Or Mike walks in and I have attitude. And I want to tell him, he's gonna ask me, hey babe, how's your day? I'm like, I had a really hard day today. You know, it's not something I really want to talk about right now. I'm really kind of feeling away. I don't want you to think anything's wrong here. I'm just, you know, kind of in a space when I want to talk, I'll come and talk to you about it.
I like it. So Rashonda said something that matches. You said, babe, I need a few minutes to decompress.
Yep.
And so now I love that. And I agree with that being a very healthy response. The issue is that you were aware that you were in a bad space. What can we give people that help them stay aware of their state so that they can say, oh, shoot, let me present it this way. Some people are oblivious. They're even in that state.
No, they're not.
That. Because I was about to say the same thing. You're not oblivious. You're not.
No, you're not.
Talk about it.
You know when you're not regulated. You know when you feel away. You're not oblivious. You don't want to talk about it. You're mad and upset for whatever reason, but you don't not know it.
So is it fair for me to say that, and I'm about to just go there, and this is just for conversation's sake, that when a woman is going through that moment of her cycle and all hell is breaking loose, she comes afterwards and apologizes. Should I say your apology is not accepted because you knew what you were doing? You knew how you felt. You knew where you were, and you chose not to try to give me any kind of warning. If you know,
I say you should have got the keys and just kind of left and went and took a drive.
So I have a hard time with this because I've never experienced that dysregulation on my cycle.
So I'm glad you just said that, because no woman I've ever dated has had that issue. I think that comes to, I gotta, and they can cancel me if they want to. I think some women use the cycle as a reason to just
excuse.
We're gonna use the bitch word since it's been going around, to just be a bitch, like an excuse. You know what I mean? I can just say what I want, do what I want, and this nigga got to deal with it. I can act like this, I can act like that. I'm not saying all women, but I'm just saying my mom, my sister, any woman I've ever dated, I've never been disrespected because, oh, I'm on my period, so now I'm gonna just be rude and nasty and disrespectful.
But can't we turn that around?
Yeah,
both ways? Because when you talk about regulate, so if he comes in and it's the same kind of situation, does she regulate? Like, how does she respond to it? Because it happens. We're human. It can happen.
The societal norm says that the man, that's part of his leadership. He should be leading the emotions for the household. That's what society says.
Emotional abuse. No, that's not.
So I'm agreeing with mom. I don't think it should be the man's duty or the man's job. We're partners. It's both our job. Just like Janae can be, I'm raging and Janae can put her hand on my knee and calm me completely down. I should be able to do the same thing for her.
Okay. So when they say that, and this is where we get to kind of deconstruct some of the things society is saying is a man's role. When it's saying that a man is supposed to lead, can we give some examples of exactly where that theory is supposed to be applied? Where? How?
So from my aspect, when I'm thinking about the man leading, it's whatever God is giving me for my family, the destination that he wants me to lead my family in. That's what I'm doing. Whether it's I'm bringing my family to church, whether it's, hey, babe, we haven't been. I'm gonna use church because this is how we do in our house. We haven't been watching church lately. We got to make sure we stand on it. But she does the same thing for me. If I'm saying, even sometimes will be out. And Janae and Denham not paying attention. Hey, you guys need to stop and recognize your surroundings real quick. We can't just be walking across the street, or we just can't be willy-nilly because we're out in public. You know what I mean? It's a mantle almost of protection, but the protection. It's not a protection like, oh, this is mine. I got to keep it safe. It's more of a protection of we have a calling as a family unit. Me and Janae have a calling as a couples unit. I have to protect this legacy as a whole. I'm not always just thinking about the physical aspect of protection.
Got you. So there's no exclusive way that a man is supposed to lead the household that a wife couldn't lead as well. She can lead in the same way. So there's not anything exclusive like this is specifically for a man to lead.
So I'll say this: if that's what you guys discuss, if Janae says just I'll give you this scenario. If Janae says, "Hey, you know what I mean? I want to be in charge of the finances. I have a finance degree, this, and that. But in my mind, well, I'm the man. I should be able to lead in all things. No, I'll handle that. But that don't even make sense.
So it might be healthy for society to take that pressure off of just saying men need to lead, because it sounds like they're trying to make it synonymous with the Bible saying man at the head, and then it's grown into men need to lead because they're the head, and maybe those two should not be connected.
I think what society's saying is, this is what I think society's saying. It don't have nothing to do with what the Bible is saying. Society is saying because men are considered the stronger sex, then that's why they should lead. And I don't agree with that, because women are a lot stronger in other areas besides just physical brute strength. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I think society means by men are to lead, because it always shows that. Even when we going back in the times of the dinosaurs and the cave people, they always see the men going out and getting the food. The woman just staying at home, pitter pattering, not doing too much of nothing. That's what we've seen since we were kids.
I'm not about to stay home doing nothing, but men were hunters.
Right. And what did the woman? But what did the woman do? We
were making fire. Yeah.
But you guys stayed at home. That's my point.
In the animal kingdom, they talked about this. I was watching this documentary on dogs, and it says that women are more vicious. The female is usually more vicious than the male, because while the male is out hunting, the woman is at home protecting the children.
She's where?
Protecting the children.
No, but where is she?
Wherever the kids are.
So, like what you said was at home. So
that's one of the places.
So, but my point is, men are always made to seem like we're always made to seem like the go-to, whether it's decisions, whether it's whatever protection, whatever it is that may be. But what I'm saying is, in a partnership, we can both share those roles, some of those roles.
Got you.
Like I mentioned the finance thing. I'm not leading in the finance in my house. Janae is.
Ladies, do you guys have any correction you think society needs to make when it comes to these gender roles or title responsibilities versus husband and wife and stuff?
Absolutely.
That's wild.
To everything that we talked about, like, where did this first start?
Yeah.
Who said that? And what makes that so? And times have changed. And so, once upon a time, yes, we were, as Mike said, we were at home like pitter-pattering. Whatever the pitter-patter is. But because society did not recognize our workplace, right? Times have changed. We've become independent. We've evolved from that in a lot of great ways. But when you want to talk about leadership and you want to talk about it from a spiritual side, then it's because if the man is following after God, right? He's following the word. And so then she will follow her husband. But as far as you want to break it down into like roles and responsibilities, no, we're in a partnership here, and we're going to talk together and do what's best for this household.
Absolutely.
Whatever the strength is.
Got you. And so that means, oh, sorry, sis, you want to add to that too?
No, I was just agreeing. I said absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
How do you guys feel about stay-at-home husbands?
So I'm okay with it. Like if our finances allow, and I'm the executive of an organization, and his role at home is something that's beneficial to our family.
If that's what you want to do and you guys agree upon your husband staying at home, then that's fine. I myself don't want to stay home.
But you hit the nail on the head. If that's what you guys, the two people in the relationship, agree on, And like I said before, everybody else, what they thought, society, other people, don't matter. What works for the marriage that you two are in?
That's
That's
good.
really all that matters.
This is I think this is good conversation because I don't think we spend enough time deconstructing some of these norms that we feel pressure to fit into. And if we don't deconstruct them, we carry them with us into dating, into relationships, into marriages, not even knowing why we're making them such a big deal. But you're supposed to lead, you're supposed to lead, you're supposed to lead. And nobody's ever had a conversation like, where did that come from? What does that mean? What do you want that to look like for you? What does leadership here look like for you? And where would I like you to lead? And where does that look like for me? Or do you feel like that's not appropriate? Because if you start having these conversations early on, you'll recognize who you can and cannot do lifelong partnership with.
Woo, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Mike, you
That
got
is the
anything
truth.
on maybe this will help Instagram?
Let's see.
I'm checking mine.
Are we good?
They said it's really bad in the church. And I think that, I don't think it's intentionally bad in the church, when it comes to man being ahead and lead. I just think that, like we said a few weeks ago, Mike, anywhere you can't ask questions, you got to be aware of manipulation. And I think that most churches and most ministries would benefit from opening up space to question what's being preached. And question was being not from a place of even challenging, but maybe challenging, but just like, can we go a little deeper and make it more practical so I can understand that? So I think that's good. We got 4 minutes, and I'm gonna end with this other video. And since we're already in this lane tonight about just heightened emotions concerning what makes us work, what doesn't make us work, what's my role, what's not my role. The reason I wanted to unpack, and I'm happy we went as deep as we did in these conversations, because we are talking about relationship advice and does it hurt or does it help? My belief is that it hurts if I can. It hurts when I'm forced to stop asking questions. That's when it hurts. Because I may have a certain curiosity that I want to explore, and if I can't, and you're still holding me to the standard, that's when it starts to hurt, because I don't have this clarity that I need to move forward in an authentic and necessary way. But last video.
Ego can be just as destructive. Most women don't want partnership, they want to be worshipped. And female ego can be just as destructive, if not more destructive, than male pride. A lot of women unknowingly are cultivating a relationship where the entire emotional environment revolves around them. Their emotions, their insecurities, their emotional needs, their wants, their desires. And so your man in the relationship is secretly drowning. I'm going to give an example of what a lot of men feel when it comes to being with their prideful wife, right? Their egotistical wife. It's like being in a relationship with someone who is always looking in a mirror, right? They're never looking at you, they're looking at themselves. He's there, but you're looking at what you see that you're lacking, that you want, that you desire, that you want to change for yourself. You never look at him. And this is where the constant criticizing and nagging comes in, because as you're staring at yourself in the mirror, you're like, ugh, look at how I look more tired because you kept me up all night working on X, Y, and Z. I don't have the same body as I used to when I was younger because I got with you. You see how my nails aren't done? Looking at myself in the mirror. You see how my nails aren't done? That's because you're broke. You see what I'm saying? You're in a relationship with yourself, sweetheart. So eventually your good man starts to change. You grew resentment. Because resentment grows where appreciation doesn't exist. And I'm going to speak as a wife myself, right? A lot of women are in love with how a man makes them feel. They're not truly in love with the man. So when it says that a man who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor of the Lord, it's a woman who cares about that man's soul. Most women don't want partners.
All right. This would be a great conversation for us to end the show with. Any immediate responses?
Get you a woman that cares about your soul.
Get you a woman that cares about your soul.
I like that.
Mine's where as resentment grows, where appreciation is lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whew!
That was the line right there.
That was it. That was it.
Man, I have.
Video on that. That's all she had to say.
I appreciate that line. I appreciate the examples because sometimes it's hard. I don't want to say it's hard to see that you're doing this. Sometimes it's hard to accept that you're doing it.
I like that.
And again, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, sis.
When she started, it made me think of now, like women talk about wanting a soft life. Made me think of like soft life. Because when I hear soft life, I think of women who don't have to work. You don't really want for anything. You don't really have to cook or clean or do anything like that. They want to just be kind of taken care of. And so it just reminded me of these women who want a soft life. And I could be totally wrong. There may be some women who define soft life different than I define it.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy about that, babe? I'm glad you said, what's crazy about that is good men like my brother and I, we would give you that soft life if we felt the appreciation. You know what I'm saying? It's the women that want the soft life that are not willing to give the appreciation, not willing to make that man feel like that man, that are asking for this soft life. You don't fucking deserve it. Like what?
What's crazy is honestly, and then to go further, it's like, are you with a man who can actually afford to do that? Because right now it's expensive to live in LA.
Yeah.
Like there's not many people. Because when I hear a soft life, I think of you want a man that's in the 1%.
But I'm talking about just the willingness, though. I'm talking more so willingness. You know what I'm saying?
There's
that was horrible is that it's okay to have the soft life and be able to be the stay-at-home mom or not have to work.
Yeah.
But her tone and how she talked to him and what she required and how she's going to make him feel about this is your fault. The guilt. It's like he should have left. I was like, she needs to be on now and let you figure it out yourself. My nails look like this because because
you're broke.
Because you're broke.
Let's
see what they look like when I'm gone.
There's this conversation we've had on this podcast about the good man and how the good man stays even when he's not happy because he is a man that's committed to the commitment. And so oftentimes these conversations exist because good men are not quick to break up. They're not quick to divorce because they are committed to the commitment. And again, they will stay even when not appreciated. Now, slightly different from what Mike said. For me, I don't try to make anything when I'm in a relationship dependent on appreciation, because for me, what I was taught by one of my mentors is that when this is all said and done, it's going to be between you and God. Did you love her the way that he told you to, regardless of what she deserved? Because in marriage, it's love her as Christ loved the church. We don't deserve anything, but his commitment was to be in a vessel, right? So I know that can be a hard line to toe. So the way he showed me, he said, don't make it based off of her appreciation, especially if it's fluctuating. It just might be a rough season. She may not be seeing it. So don't make everything like I'm showing you receipts. You didn't appreciate this. You didn't appreciate that. You didn't appreciate this. It's different when there's criticism while appreciation is absent. So you got to watch out for that. And the reason this whole conversation came up is because me and my friend were talking about how some women are marrying men that can give them the life that they want, but they don't really want the man. And I don't think enough men recognize that that's what they want. That some women want the life, but they don't want you. And if you're a man that needs to be wanted, then that's something you might need to be aware of, that some of them just want the life. And as soon as you cannot provide the life anymore, they're not going to see a need for you. But like Janae said, that last line, but when you take the time when dating, ask the right questions, operate with enough patience to know if she cares about your soul, it's a different conversation. It's a different relationship.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's good.
I think that tonight these conversations got pretty deep. And some people may have come across a very touchy subject that made them feel some type of way. And sometimes you can get emotional. Sometimes you can get in this headspace of, but what do I do now? We like to provide a resource at the end of every podcast. When this says the Suicide and Crisis Hotline, even if you're not feeling suicidal, but especially if you are, you can have your own little personal crisis that you're struggling with right now that's keeping you from going to sleep, that's keeping you from being able to eat during a day that just has you feeling anxiety all day, you don't have to even go through that alone. You can call 988. The counselor who picks up the phone is trained to listen if that's all you need. They're also trained to connect you with resources, reading materials, or therapists or support group. The number is designed to help you in ways that you need to be helped. Me and Mike offer this service. We let you know about this service because we're only here on Sundays and we can only do so much. We do care about you. We hope these shows are insightful and comical and funny at the same time. But for some of you guys, this is life or death. This is divorce conversations. This is what about the kids? This is I'm struggling with this relationship and it's hurting me and my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
The Suicide Crisis Hotline number is for you. Please screenshot this or share it with a friend. And as always, I'll say this, and I have to say it in every episode, just because you care about somebody doesn't mean you know how to care for them. If you know someone who's going through it and you want to get involved, reach out to this number first to ask them if your plan is going to be helpful or harmful, because you jumping in and saying you care but not really educated on how to talk to somebody in this place can make things worse. So just know that.
Yeah.
And me and Mike want to thank our guests tonight. Thank you guys for bringing balance to the conversation.
Oh, sure.
Any
That's good.
last words you guys want to share with the audience?
Is there what?
Any last words you want to share with the audience?
I'll just say it again, what I said from that show that I used to watch. Love is attainable as long as you define it for yourself.
Yeah, taking that with me.
Yes. And my word is still going to be check in. I love what you guys do. I love what you stand for. I love the messages that you send out. But I'm really touched by this last month, and check in on your friends, even those that you think that are doing well.
Man, that's good, Mom.
And don't think that just because we talk about the gender roles and the men being the leaders or being strong, that they don't need help. Check in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Bro, you got any last words?
No, I ain't got no last words for these raggedy.
So that means you praying us out.
Father, we thank you for another great show. We thank you for bringing my mom and my sister here tonight to help us out. And your sister.
Oh, okay.
Your sister. My wife here tonight to help us out with the show, Lord. We thank you that as we go out into the world this week, that you just continue to minister to us. Anything that has stuck with us throughout this week, that we continue to today, that we continue to chew on that throughout the week, Lord. And hopefully it ministers to somebody and helps them out of a situation that maybe you don't want them to be in, Lord. And we just thank you and praise you for the continued success of the show. We thank you that, as the people continue to watch, that it does help them, Lord, that it does encourage them to do better, be better as we strive to be, Lord. We thank you and praise you for your surrounding angels as we go throughout our work week, school week, over ourselves, our children, and our families, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Man, I thought you were going to give us a long one for a minute there. You're about to get in a row.
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Until next Sunday.
2 Chainz.
I'm my honeybees.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me.
I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.